My Gavaden Melanin, and well met indeed. I'm Archir Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Adûnâim, and our now successful conquest of the forces of Isengard, is what we hope. We are going to fight at Argond, I believe, so that we can get the town and jump across the river quickly to give Isengard something to think about. Dunland is besieging Outford. Isengard has got an army near Castle Good Hope that they are just standing around with, that could take the castle in a heartbeat if they try, but we're sending reinforcements. Captain Avradizimir and Captain Indilzar are trying to make their way there. In the north, we are of course mustering forces to take on the elves, which may also happen this episode. Fingers crossed. But for now, we go to war.
To battle.
Chieftain Conchar. He gets no units of wildmen. Our army ratio is very much in our favour. We outnumber him 2-1. I didn't realise that. Weakened. Weak and pathetic. Oh, we're also being besieged in Tharbad as well. That's frustrating. What was the time? 5 past. Well, in the modding scene, I don't really want to say in a video, to be honest, because Total War Center already know. Discord doesn't, but that doesn't really matter. There's 2,000 people in the Discord that I have for the channel, and I would say maybe 100 of them are active tops. But anyway, that's irrelevant. I'm not really that active, and perhaps that's why I lead by example, which I do not. We are going to need those. It's a nice, easy, straight smash down the gate, and in we go. Make sure we're sending scum though. We're going to change Angmar. Angmar are going to be edited. Chiefly because... It's all started because Gundabad, of course, in the Gundabad campaign I'm playing, can recruit Ruidour units. And a lot of people were quite upset at this. They did not like the introduction of Ruidour units. And they suggested that by adding Ruidour, Gundabad was basically just completely... not only stepping on Angmar's toes, but stepping on their toes and surpassing them. The suggestion was very much, why would anyone play as Angmar when you've now got this considerably, A, cooler, and B, more powerful faction standing literally right next door? To which I then painfully said over and over and over again that the AI will never train Ruidour units. Not because the coding doesn't allow it, but because the situation in which you can train them, the AI simply will never get them. Angmar has to be dead for Gundabad to train Ruidour units. So, and you only get them from 5 regions. Now, if Angmar is dead and Gundabad is still alive, that means that whoever killed Angmar is currently knocking on Gundabad's door, and they are not likely, they're not anytime soon, going to be marching out and taking the lands that train Ruidour troops. That's the first point. And as a human player, as I say, you have to kill Angmar first. So Angmar will be gone when you get Ruidour units. So there's no suggestion that you're kind of playing with their roster, because they have to be dead for you to get them. But I appreciated the point that I took away from it was that Angmar didn't really have a thing that really defined them. They were very much, and Dol Guldur too, Dol Guldur is still in discussion, but Angmar, unfortunately, with Dol Guldur, were basically just clones of Mordor, and the only real difference in their gameplay was that they weren't actually in Mordor. That was the big difference. So it's just like playing Mordor in the north, really. They had a very similar setup. A lot of people like the design of the Witch Realm units, the Marauders and the Pikemen, and that's fair enough, but remember that the design of the Witch Realm units is actually just the Morgul Chosen unit. That's it. It is literally just the Morgul Chosen unit. And instead of having a shield, they have two-handed weapons. There's no other difference. So they were heavily based on Mordor, and they didn't, as I said, didn't have a defining thing. Like if you look at the Orc, because it was primarily in relation to the Orc factions, Moria focuses entirely on hordes. They get more units than any other faction, and you just utterly swamp people. Now that may not be to your tastes, but that is how they play. And if that is to your taste, they're the faction for you. Isengard, of course, along with Gundabad, they play similarly, with one being a heavy armoured elite and the other being a very offensive elite. But at their core, they are just two very elite orc factions And then, of course, Isengard also has the ring script to then spice them up, and Gundabad has the orc subjugation script to spice them up. And so they played very differently to all the other orc nations, the other, 3 orc nations, because they were the only ones that focused truly on elites. Right, we're going to send these in first, because these are the ones we don't really care about. And the ones that I've put stupidly far away from the line. Mordor's big thing, and something that will be enhanced as we move further into the idea of like an evil version of the Beacon of Hope, is variety. Mordor has variety. You get orcs at the beginning and orcs in the middle and orcs at the end. And you get Dark Númenóreans. And you get men from Rhûn. And you get men from Khand. And you get great beasts. And you get trolls. So the thing that keeps their campaign interesting as you go along, in my opinion, is that there's just so much to train. And of course, with this beacon, or my current working title for it is the Covering Shadow system, will mean that Mordor can train even more as they progress on. So Mordor had variety, but Angmar just felt very similar to Mordor, but worsened. Or, to be honest, when I was explaining it, there's a post on Total War Center, feel free to head over and have a read. When I was explaining it out, Mordor feel very much like, Angmar, sorry, feel very much like they have an aspect of each of the other factions, but they don't do any of it to the same degree. So they're almost like a jack of all trades, master of none, which isn't really great, to be honest. There still should be something that makes them stand out, and the Witch Realm units alone just simply wasn't enough. Now, if they're going to defend the walls, then I tell you what we will do, is we will actually just run everyone back so that we're not getting shot by the gate. And we'll just send in those weaker units and try and take the town square. There's enough of them, and the AI is just letting us run to the centre, so screw it. We blooming well will. Although they will slaughter us. Wolf Pikes, Wolf Swordsman... Oh, only a warband. Chieftain's Bodyguard there. But not if we can get the drop on them. Come out of time 6. Yeah, the Chieftain's Bodyguard has got us, but they've got us tied up over there. So basically, the long story is that, or the short story is that we're going to change Angmar up to play entirely differently to how they play now. And this is going to be done by changing them from being an orc faction to changing them to being primarily an evil equivalent of the Northmen faction. So they're not going to be Northmen. This is such a problem that I'm seeing in modding. Sorry, this is a bit of a segue, but such a problem I'm seeing is that we will say something purely explanatory and people will take it literally. So we have said that Angmar are going to be based on, essentially they're going to be like evil Northmen. But that doesn't mean they're actually going to be Northmen. It just means they're going to be based on the Northmen, but they are evil. But a lot of people have taken immediate fault with that and said, like, oh, you can't have an evil Northman faction. The Northmen never made it to Angmar. And it's like, oh, that's not what we mean. And I appreciate then perhaps we should be clearer, but it's just amazing the number of people that take what you say so literally. But what we mean is that there isn't at the moment a representation of the Northman-style humans as evil. So, look, all of my archers are running to the centre just as done and finally... Oh, no, they are actually just going to let us run in. Perfect. At the minute, there is an evil Gondor, if you will. We're playing as them, the Adûnâim. They have the same sort of stats as the Gondorians, but they fight for the Shadow. That is what I mean. There is an evil Wildmen faction. We are fighting against them as we speak. And again, it is that they have stats of Wildmen, but they fight for the Shadow, being the defining feature again. But Northmen as a thing, as a representation, as a slice of society, do not have an evil equivalent. And that's what we're going for with Angmar. Now, many of you will note that from various passages, and again, I suggest you read the Total War Center post that I put up. There's various passages suggesting that when the Witch King arrives in Angmar, he arrives and leads primarily evil men. Now, not Dark Númenóreans. Don't get your hopes up. You're not going to be getting any of them. But he primarily finds evil men. And so it's these evil men that we're going to play on. With orcs will still be in the Angmar roster, but the primary role in the roster will be taken up by humans. Oh, bugger. You've gone too far forward, so you're just going to have to fight now. So, the roster, at an overview, at a glance, will be... The core of the roster will be, as I say, evil humans. Then all of your cavalry, bar your elite cavalry, will come from wargs and orcs. So Angmar will be an orc cavalry faction, but also an evil Northman faction, but not be Northmen. That's very much where we're taking them. And as I say, so all of the cavalry will be wargs. So they'll have more wargs than any other faction, which is completely unique. And they will also... Oh, bugger. I've really played this battle map so badly. I should never talk and play. I should have done its own video for this Angmar, because I'm trying to think of all the things I've typed. And that's just meaning that I'm not paying any attention to this battle whatsoever. But I will cover it in more detail in a later video. So before any of you get on a horse and want to start riding around telling us how we're ruining the game, just wait until I've told it properly. Or go to Total War Center and there's a thread called Angmar Discussion. And have a guess what you think that's about. And so feel free to go and join the others in the discussion. And that's pretty much where I will leave it now. But just rest assured, Angmar are going to be changed up. And at their core, they will no longer be an orc faction. They will be an evil human faction. And that's the direction we're taking. I'll run at least. What I have essentially managed to do in this battle is take our numbers advantage and crap all over it by playing as possibly stupidly as it's possible to be, by sending trash in against the only units they had that could actually do anything, and then being surprised when they all die.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
There we are, they're dead. For some reason, they've abandoned the center with their general's bodyguard. Go for it.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Oh, you've got pikes, have you? Well, let's see how you fare against these suckers. How are the archers doing as well? Firing away, I trust. Shooting at whatever. I don't understand this. The AI is so baffling to me. As soon as the town centre actually starts to properly fall, though, they will run all of those units back. But at the moment, they still hold the town square. But not for long. Our forces will soon crush them utterly. Let's keep it at ×6 because we are massacring them.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Right, let's get you guys out and use you to hit those buggers over there. Don't know who they're chasing after. Oh, they are sending units back. Berserkers are on their way. Wolf's pikes are down to 9. We've slaughtered them when we've actually put the right troops in the right place. I apologise for the poor quality of this battle, but I mean, no, I don't. I don't care. I honestly don't care. I almost didn't even record today. I wasn't really feeling it, but then I had some delicious chocolate Yule log and sausages and mashed potato for dinner, prepared expertly by myself with absolutely no help from Jessica whatsoever, of course. And now I'm feeling raring to go. But I should have paid way more attention. I wanted to talk about Angmar because you, the YouTube following, had yet to really hear about it, because Total War Center has a... Like, let's say, for example, each video on YouTube normally gets between 4,000 and 5,000 views. That's alright. Total War Center, kind of at a peak in any one day, gets like maybe 80 people in the Divide and Conquer thread.
No longer command the castle.
In the Divide and Conquer Submod.
Very much in our favor.
Submod. Subthread, that's what I'm looking for. So, of course, even if not everyone here comments, still more people will hear about things if I put it out through YouTube than they will if we put it out on Total War Center. And unfortunately, that's just the way of it nowadays.
We've lost control of the castle.
Oh yeah, go on. We might as well just chuck everyone in.
Our men are in command. The enemy general lies dead.
Oh, the enemy
Let
chieftain
the
is
crows
dead.
have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his men.
We have lost so many troops so needlessly. This has been an atrocious battle. Nice to see our army in full gear, though, isn't it? I'm not even going to look at the stats. I'm going to sully ourselves. That, I can tell you, quite categorically, is an artist's depiction of the fall of Lake Town after Smaug exacts his revenge and vengeance upon it. And somewhere amongst the ruin... At this point, I don't know if Smaug is currently already dead, or if... spoiler alert. Or if he's flying around above. But there should be a company of archers, led by one Bard the Bowman, still fighting as the women, children, frail, and just really everyone else flees. Yay, we got Argon back.
Honor, victory.
It's already a stronghold, so we'll take the money.
Our courage and honor have conquered.
And we can do a lot with it, actually. That's nice to see. I will take a Great Hall off your hands. Thank you very much. When I say retrain, are you actually retraining the unit, or are you giving them armor or something? Oh, no way! Yes! Yes! By playing as carelessly as it's possible to be, we have beaten Dunland. And now a large rebel army stands outside. Goodness gracious, that's ridiculous. Go on, go and attack the Misty Mountains. They're standing over there. Where's my diplomat? We will leave behind you because you've got no one left, and you for the same reason. And we'll move straight on Baradvin.
Yes, my lord. We shall engage.
No one expects the Spanish
prevail.
Inquisition.
Yes.
Our chief weapons are surprise.
Ready.
I don't know any more than that. A ruthless devotion to the Pope. I don't want to even try and say the actual lines out because it wouldn't do them justice. Right, I was going to trade for Hamgathol back to the dwarves, but as someone quite rightly pointed out, we are a very much naval nation, and having full control of the coastline from the tippity top of Eriador down to the tippity bottom is good. So we don't really want to give that back. I am very tempted to give Adûnâim back, to be brutally honest. But I really want to keep it because it's an old evil men city, and I'm pretty sure we can train our elite cavalry out of this building at some point. I don't know what building they train from. I'm sure we get them out of here. Where do they come from? I can't remember for the life of me. Town Hall, maybe? No, we've got the Town Hall, haven't we? Where is the Town Hall, then? Which one is it? That one? High Palace? No, not that one. I don't know, then. Maybe the Adûnâim is not one of the locations. That would be foolish. Where's Tharbad? We've got Tharbad, haven't we? They definitely come from Tharbad. I'm just going to click every bloody building till it shows me where I get these flaming cavalry from. Oh, we've got a military camp here that doesn't do anything. Yeah, get rid of that. Town Guard provides things. Where is the town? The barracks? Check the top tier of the barracks here. I have no idea. They definitely come from Tharbad. Are they not in this version? Is that... I think that might be the case. There's an elite cavalry unit that the Adûnâim can train from ancient Númenorian towns and cities, or historic Númenorian towns and cities. And I'm getting the distinct impression that because I'm playing a pre-version 2.2 version, that I don't get them. And I think that is the case, I'm afraid. So when I came here to set this up as my capital, that was completely needless and totally unnecessary because I couldn't even get the unit that I was after anyway. No, it must be. It must not be. They must not have been added until after I started playing this version, and I've just never thought of it. No, indeed. So there we are. Sorry, everyone. We're not going to get that cool cavalry unit.
Your orders, my lord.
Take a couple of ladders. You might as well.
Yes.
See, we've got a lot of retraining going on that I don't think actually is proper retraining.
My lord.
Yes, my lord.
My lord. My lord.
Your will, my lord. My lord.
Everyone's moved, haven't they? Yeah. Right. Let's queue up these retraining then. But I really do want Tharbad. I wanted to defeat the Northern Adûnâim, but to be honest, I'm not as bothered about it now as I was before. They still got the ruined town, yeah. No, I don't want to lose a Numinas. I do not want to lose a Numinas. I don't earn enough money to buy Royal Tharbad. We can always try it.
Yes,
Zagarakor. You there.
Aye, my friend. What can we do?
Map information. I'll give you all the money that I currently have. And I will give you a regular tribute of 1,000 for the next 15 turns because I'm a nice guy. And all I want is Tharbad. Oh wow, you've done well. Very demanding. Bugger. They're never going to say yes.
If you're looking to offend us, diplomacy has failed this day.
Why do you dislike me? Because I've offered to buy a settlement from you. That just doesn't make sense, Adûnâim. Stupid fools. Right, let's get some retraining done then. Oh, I can retrain a lot, can't it? Anywhere else? That's probably blacksmiths, but we'll go for it anyway. Anywhere else? Nope. Argon, nope. I think that's it. End the turn!
Splitting the troops.
I can't believe Dunland just died. Regicide is such a great thing. Especially when it happens in really unexpected moments like that. I am disappointed that the dwarves didn't even humour the notion of selling Royal Tharbad to me. I'm really disappointed about that cavalry. I'm actually going to go into the files after this and see why I cannot train them and if I'm supposed to be able to. Because that's going to bug me so much. Oh, yes, I can take that if you'd like me to. Bregost has built us some roads. Always nice to see. Now people can move through a bit quicker. You get mines. Oh, but this is in the version where mines are still utterly garbage. Why don't you go for a merchant's wharf then if you've got the money? Ghuzanar built a guild house. You could get a grand bazaar or... That's about it, really. That's not really worth it, is it? Oh, we could give them Ghuzanar, actually, couldn't we? Oh, that's a big thought. But then Ghuzanar makes more than for Hamgathor, just from obviously looking at the numbers. But then we'd get Royal Tharbad, and that means a lot more to us than it does to the dwarves. And they probably would like Ghuzanar back. I think I am. I am going to give them Ghuzanar. I didn't say what you just built, but build me some blacksmith. Give me a blacksmith. And they retrained. I don't know what it was, but they did it. Getting a Dark Sanctuary up. We haven't been attacked anywhere. And quite as we hoped, Isengard have pulled the army that was heading for Castle Good Hope away. You guys can continue on because I do need a garrison there that's stronger than the one that's currently there.
We can go no further today.
Dale and the Misty Mountains are also now at war.
Your orders, my lord.
Misty Mountains making enemies left, right, and centre. Oh, that was a really stupid idea. You're just going to get attacked. That was so stupid. That was so stupid. Ah, dear. Right, where's our chief diplomat? Still standing next to some dwarves, I hope. Yes.
My lord.
Barketta.
Yes.
Oh, don't tell me I've just moved him too far. Anyway, Ghuzanar, the garrison not required. Die, friends. And you're going to dislike this, and I'm not even going to save the game before I do it, but I'm going to remove everything. Apologies for the horribly loud sound effects this gives off. Oh, our Brotherhood of True Sons is in Ghuzanar. That's you only get one of those per faction. Oh, that's a bugger. That's alright, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes.
Oh, it did. Oh, I'm not having that. Bloody game. Oh, and that's not even your name. Oh. Has to be capital letters. Oh, this game. It's too old for its own good.
It's always good to see.
Map information. I'd like your map information now, please. I will give you Ghuzanar, your old home because I'm such a nice guy, and you will give me Royal Tharbad because you're such a nice guy. I'll tell you what as well, I'll even give you 10,000 because I'm just made that money. I don't really need it. Go on. Adûnâim, you little bitch.
What's your next suggestion then?
Sorry. Why do you like Royal Tharbad more than Adûnâim? I'm just going to have to give them all my money. That's going to have to be the way of it. I'll give you all of my money because I'm such a nice, friendly guy. And I'll even pay you 1,000 for the next 10 turns and then probably break that in a turn or two anyway.
Let's forget
You
this for
scum!
now. This was a disappointing encounter.
You utter scum. What's so wrong with me wanting Royal Tharbad? I'm not giving you Argon. We should take somewhere else, like head north and take Fëanor and give them that as well. I don't have an army to do that with. End the turn!
Joining forces, my lord.
Ah, our spies just reached Adûnâim. You can see if Adûnâim have Adûnâim. Adûnâim have gone from on the brink of utter destruction at both my hands, Dun, and mostly the Misty Mountains. And then suddenly now they're more powerful than me again. And you just, like, the Misty Mountains are supposed to be strong. Where is that strength now? I don't see it. Dumb jackal. Ah, this should be a nice, simple one. And we'll round out the episode. So we'll give it a save. Technically they have the same number of troops as us, but they've got 4 units of their trash. Warg Marauders, Uruk-hai Raiders, and Uruk Reavers. He's doing a bit better, but he's coming in.
Muster your courage, men. We march into battle.
So it'll be a bit of a doddle, really. We'll be able to crush the first army very quickly, and then just turn and face the other one. Not too many. Oh, we've got loads of archers. Christ, we've got shed loads of archers. I've never seen so many archers. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. Shift 1. None of that. I hate skirmish mode. It's so useless. That's the thing, is that in this game it is utterly useless. But unfortunately, if you don't use it, the AI will just stand their archers there and never try and run away. Because we can set something in the files for each unit that says that they actually can't skirmish. And that's the best way of getting around the fact that the AI always skirmishes. But then the AI, I think, is massively hindered if you don't let them skirmish because they don't really know how to use their archers properly. Not that I'm a great statesman of how to use armies properly. But I can use them better than the AI can, and that's for true. Let's move everyone out already. Don't want any archers getting hit. Oh, and the Wargs have just charged into the 2 units that can crush them the quickest.
Not good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
There we are, they're going down. Everything's going down. 30% of them have died just as their reinforcements start to creep over the top of that hill. Oh, and our archers are changing
Only half
focus.
The enemy force remains.
Bring them down, friends. Oh, they've outfitted their half-orcs in their later game steel. And another unit of crossbows charges across the plain. Don't let them run away because they will fight. Right, you can come back though. And we've got a general standing around somewhere doing nothing. Yeah, you can come back too. Those units are probably getting killed, unfortunately, by the Uruk Reavers. Quite a lot of their army is making it away. Oh, and there we are. The crossbows have found the courage. Oh, they're routing. Get them in the flank. Hit into the side of them. Thank you very much. Bring down those crossbows, please. all of these missile units just firing into the crossbows, and hardly any of you are getting any
Behold how our
kills.
cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
Everybody get them, yep, brilliant. And then the last one.
The enemy general flees.
Yes!
The enemy are
Heroic
utterly
victory!
vanquished. This is a great victory, worthy of only
128.
the mightiest of generals.
Well done. Well done. I think that battle rather makes up for the poor form at the start. What? Hopefully, anyway. Oh, something else I was going to say is a vision came to me last weekend of a cracking way to kind of morph the faction overviews into a more of a lore video, because I have made notes I've made notes for the following lore videos, but at the minute I haven't found the inspiration to actually do them. Number one is a video about the differences between The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the book, and The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the film. And I've got that banked. The other one, of course, is to finish off the tale of the Fellowship by talking about Gandalf and the Hobbits, which is also obviously there on the periphery. But something else that came to me, as I say, in a cracking vision, and I'd love to gauge interest on this. So don't worry about Angmar for now, and just give me your thoughts on this. And that is, what about a video whereby in the first half of the video, or each video focuses on a single faction from Divide and Conquer. So at the minute, for example, Isengard. So then the first half of the video would be the actual true to lore background of Isengard. So it'll tell you all about Isengard specifically. So Saruman's coming and going. What about before Saruman? That kind of thing. It'd be a history of that faction, lore-wise. Then there's a noticeable break, and the second half of the video is then what we in Divide and Conquer have written as a backstory for that faction in our kind of twisted universe of Middle-earth. Because, of course, Total War wouldn't work without us twisting the lore to a certain extent. So the first half of the video would be for the pure lore fans, those who just want to know about Lord of the Rings. And then the second half of the video would then tie it to Divide and Conquer, because, of course, the channel at its core is Divide and Conquer first, and unfortunately Lord of the Rings second. It always has been. The whole point of the channel is to advertise Divide and Conquer. So the second half is to then talk about, as I say, the difference in DaC and what we have written. Now, chiefly this would be felt in, say, for example, I'm not going to fight this battle, by the way, sorry. I'm just teasing you all. The chief fact, like, nations like Dorwinion and Khand, the first half of the video would likely be between 5 to 10 minutes long, and the second half of the video would then be 20 minutes long, because we know nothing about them lore-wise, so we've had to create these whole backstories for them. Gundabad would be the same, Angmar would be the same even. Although Angmar, of course, has detailed and lengthy history with the Northern Adûnâim, and there would be histories that overlap. But I think it's quite a good idea, and it's interesting. I think it would be interesting to focus on actual nations in a lore video rather than specific people or just specific kind of history. The only faction where this may not really, where we wouldn't go into the kind of detail that the Gondor videos I did at the very beginning of the lore playlist, the Gondor, the Arnor, and the Rohan videos, we wouldn't go into that level of detail, like saying every king, saying this, that, and the other. It would be major events that happen to that faction and major aspects of that faction's lore. And then, as I say, changes in Divide and Conquer. So nations like Gondor would actually be very few changes in DaC, because we've written virtually no lore for them. But it would cover like the little things, like why this ancillary is called this, or why the faction's king is called this, that kind of thing. So let me know what you think about that. But for now, that's going to end this one. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navar Naden Perimad Melunin, and farewell.